UK Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood has found herself at the centre of a heated political row following renewed calls to strip controversial activist Alaa El-Fattah of his British citizenship. Critics from across the political spectrum have intensified pressure on the government after a series of historical social media posts by the British Egyptian activist resurfaced, drawing widespread condemnation and igniting a fierce debate over citizenship and national security. Alaa El-Fattah, a well-known pro-democracy campaigner who spent years imprisoned in Egypt before being pardoned and returning to the UK on Boxing Day, is now under scrutiny after old tweets emerged in which he appeared to endorse violence against Zionists and police officers, and used inflammatory language about various groups. While supporters have highlighted El-Fattah's decades-long struggle against authoritarian repression and his work as a human rights advocate, opponents argue that the content of his past comments is incompatible with British values. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch and Reform UK's Nigel Farage have publicly urged Ms Mahmood to consider revoking his citizenship and deporting him. The calls have put the Home Secretary, who is responsible for the nation's borders and security, in a difficult position. Legal experts note that UK law sets a high bar for stripping someone of citizenship, typically limited to cases involving fraud, national security risks or serious criminal behaviour, and historic online posts alone rarely meet that threshold. Downing Street and the Home Office have defended the government's handling of the situation, pointing out that El-Fattah's citizenship was granted under previous Conservative administrations and that there are currently no legal grounds to revoke it based on the material unearthed. They have also stressed that the UK has a duty to protect its citizens, including those who have been unfairly detained abroad. El-Fattah himself has issued a public apology, saying he understands how shocking and hurtful his past remarks were and attributing them to the anger of youth and the highly charged context of early social media. His defenders argue that his broader record, which includes advocacy for human rights and opposition to police brutality, should not be overshadowed by isolated comments from more than a decade ago. Amid the controversy, Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper has ordered an urgent Foreign Office review into how information about the activist's past was handled, after officials admitted that senior ministers, including the Prime Minister, were not briefed on the resurfaced posts before his return was publicly welcomed. Labour figures have been cautious in responding, with some arguing that citizenship powers must be applied carefully and legally, while others acknowledge the strength of public concern, particularly given broader worries about rising anti-Semitism and social cohesion in the UK. The row over El-Fattah's citizenship comes at a sensitive time for the government, as it seeks to balance commitments to human rights with public fears about extremism and divisive rhetoric. For Ms Mahmood, the debate highlights the complex legal and ethical questions involved in determining who qualifies for full membership in British society, and how past behaviour intersects with present law and values.